Hi, this is My Two Favorite Librarians. I'm Denise Corey.
I'm Chantel Taylor, and today we're going to talk about Irish authors.
Because St. Patrick's Day is this weekend, the Festival of Green Beer. It's probably not how people in Ireland refer to it.
I have no real opinion about St. Patrick's Day.
So we could talk about Oscar Wilde or James Joyce.
Yes, my only two things that I've read, I can, by Irish authors.
You read neither of those.
I have. I've read The Importance of Being Earnest and Dorian Gray. I did not read Ulysses.
And I don't know why you would want to read Ulysses.
Well, there's a great story. So my workbook club, they wanted to do a classic and they wanted to do a whole year of classics. And I was like, no, let's just keep it to one. And usually over the summertime, we'll read something a bit beefier because we've got a couple of months before we're back in September. And they decided to read Ulysses.
And how far did you get?
I refused to read it. I told them they ruined my summer. And
you didn't even read it and you said they ruined your summer.
Oh, I knew it was going to be horrible. And one of my book club members, I was opening up the library, and she was the first patron in of the day and yelled at me for letting them pick that book. Mm-hmm. Marilyn Young, who was in my book club, she read the most pages at 13.
I don't plan on ever reading Ulysses.
Andrea actually read short stories.
By Joyce.
Yes, okay. And she actually got through quite a bit.
So how about we talk about some authors I've read?
Okay, that's good. Because I've only read, I couldn't find any, just the one.
Yes. Maeve Binchy. You must have read something.
I've never read Maeve Binchy. I've seen the movie Circle of Friends with Maeve Binchy, right?
You can't see my face. It looks very shocked. You've never read any Maeve Binchy?
No.
Yes, she did Circle of Friends.
So I saw the movie.
She published 29 books before her death. She died in 2012. So I'm not going to name them all.
No.
But Circle of Friends, Evening Class, Scarlet Feather, Whitethorn Woods, Quentin's, Chestnut Street. You're just shaking your head.
Never read.
Well, she generally wrote, I guess past tense is better. She generally wrote about small town Irish life. So, Circle of Friends, they didn't live in Dublin. They just went to university there.
Yes.
They're usually a love story, not a romance. See, I know the difference in those terms now. And, they're nice. They're nice books.
Yes.
I like them.
They're very popular. That was a very loud yes, sorry.
Yes.
They're very popular. We see a lot of Maeve Binchy.
Yeah.
Coming and going.
Well, and when she was still alive, her books would instantaneously hit a bestsellers list. What about Tana French?
No.
Did you know that she was Irish?
I did not.
It's one of those weird things, though, because she was born in the U.S., but now lives in Dublin, so they claim her as an Irish author.
What? I know the name. I can see book covers. What does she write? Is she...
Dead body books.
Oh, okay.
So she has a really popular series called the Dublin Murder Squad series. So you can already tell what kind of book it is. I read the first one, which was Into the Woods, and it was very creepy.
Oh, now that sounds very familiar, Into the Woods.
Yeah, so
I might try one of them.
It's a mystery.
I might try one
good.
of hers.
Yeah. And this person I consider to be a Canadian author, but unlike Tana French, Patrick Taylor was born in Northern Ireland and now lives in Canada.
And you're always listening to him in the car. He's the country doctor, Irish country doctor.
He does the Irish Country Doctor series, and I love the audiobooks of those series. They're read by John Keating, and he just has a beautiful Irish accent. And these are very gentle reads. I recommend them anytime somebody's looking for something that doesn't have too much mayhem or, doesn't have murder, it doesn't have sex, it doesn't have... these are nice. They're set in a small Irish town, a fictional Irish town called Ballybuckle
Nice, I like it.
In 1960s Northern Ireland. And it's about a newly graduated doctor, Barry Laverty, getting a job with Dr. Fingal Flaherty O'Reilly. And then it's just, they go around the country and they know everybody and they get mixed up in things, but it's all very gentle and nice. And
Can I put in a plug for a non-book? And also, we don't own it yet because it hasn't come out on DVD.
what?
I just watched on Netflix Dairy Girls. It's a series, so it's about some high schoolers who are living in Northern Ireland in the 1990s. It was very funny. It's only 6 episodes, so it's a pretty quick. Like, I think I binge watched it like last Friday night.
And we don't own it because
we
it's
don't
on
own
Netflix.
it yet. It's on Netflix. Once it does come out, we will buy it. It was just,
I know
was
you've
fantastical.
been talking about it a lot.
It was very, you can see little clips on YouTube from each of the characters, but
I'm going to have to watch it.
it was good. I would watch it again.
What are you reading right now?
I'm not reading anything by an Irish author.
No, I'm not surprised.
I am currently reading Pleasures of a Dark Prince by Cressley Cole, which is my fated mates.
It's a romance.
Yes, book 7.
There must be Irish romance authors.
Oh, of course there are. Although there's lots of Scottish. A lot of things happen in Scotland.
There seems to be a lot of lairds.
Yes, yep, and a lot of Highlanders in kilts. But I might have to go looking for it. Of course, there has to be Irish.
There has to be.
Yeah.
So sorry, cut you off. Go ahead.
That's okay. I'm behind. I was ahead. I was so excited. I got ahead of the podcast, and now I'm behind again. So they just aired this book yesterday. Or 2 weeks ago it would be now because we're recording in advance. So I'm behind the 8 ball again. But we've finished the first, they're calling it, movement of this series, and we're moving into the second.
So this is book 7 of the series.
This is book 7. There's 18, I think, in the whole series.
Is the series finished or is she still
it's
writing?
still going strong. Okay. Yeah.
So I'd say you're like almost halfway through, but by the time you finish, there'll be more.
There'll be more because there's another one coming out this year, and I'm assuming I have no idea how long it'll take them to do this whole podcast.
Well, but you're enjoying it.
I am loving it now. Things are starting to change a little bit because although these are episodic little books, there's an overarching storyline. So in this world, there's something called the Ascension, where it happens every 500 years, and it basically culls the immortals because they don't die. They have kids, but it's basically like population control.
Are their kids immortal?
Yeah.
Okay.
They reach their immortality in their 20s. It's like a transition they go through. And so every 500 years, this accession happens. They're coming into the accession. And so this is like all the forces are kind of moving into play, and who's the bad and who's coming, da-da-da-da-da.
So characters are going to die.
Yes.
Are you distraught about this?
Well, I think we're coming into a period of a lot of unlikable heroes, like a lot of, like, the big evil Lothair has his own book, and people love that book, but he's still like
what
the
number
evil villain.
That?
I think it's like 11.
So you're not there yet.
No, it's coming.
I do mean to pick up at least the first book in that series and give it a try.
Don't read the novella. Start with A Hunger Like No Other.
I think that's the one I put on my list.
Yes, yeah.
I just finished Winter in Paradise by Ellen Hildebrand. And it fits into my Pop Sugar reading challenge.
Nice.
Because it's read a book in the season that it's set in. But even though it's called Winter in Paradise and it happens in winter, they're in the Virgin Islands. So it's not it's like super warm, beautiful, whatever. And I didn't realize when I picked it up that it's going to be a trilogy. So this is the first book.
Okay.
So as I was getting towards the end, I was like, whoa, things are not getting tied up. Maybe she's just going to leave them. And then it was like, oh no, there's another book. So on New Year's Eve, Irene goes out with her friend. She's a little bit perturbed because her husband isn't home for New Year's Eve. He travels a lot for work. Then she gets a call that there was an accident in the Virgin Islands. So she lives in the Midwest of the U.S., and the call, she finds out her husband is dead. She didn't know he was in the Virgin Islands. And then she gets down there and finds out that he died in a helicopter crash and there was another woman on the helicopter.
Oh.
And so she and her sons fly down and they just discover so much stuff. And I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but there's a lot of things happening.
Interesting.
She did not know what her husband was doing.
Does anybody know what their husband is doing?
This was pretty extreme.
Okay.
So
Or their wife. Sometimes it's wives.
Yeah. Or, partner, whatever. On at the library this week is Dispelling the Myths of Alzheimer's Disease. It's at the Fourth Fathers Library in Amherst on Friday, March 15th from 2 to 3 p.m.
Nice. It's March break next week.
Next week,
Don't
yes.
forget to sign up.
Oh, yeah. Sign up for March break because now things are getting full. And also, you should take a look at our calendar of events on our website. It is
www.cumberlandpubliclibraries.ca. I almost forgot.
because you will find lots of upcoming events, including our full schedule for March break and some pension talks that are coming up. We're doing them throughout the county in March. And you can find us on the Instagram, the Facebook, and the Twitter.
Yes.
And those handles are all on the library's website. And next week we're talking about
Debut novels or debut authors?
debut novels.
Okay, novels.
That's what I had.
You made up the subjects.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.